we're making today are from soft plastic bottles. You can tell if it's the right kind of bottle if it gives a little when you press on it. You can see this one is from a coffee creamer. I really like it because of its colorful cap. And water bottles are really easy to work with because they're thin and wonderfully easy to cut. You'll want to stay away from things like Gatorade bottles, which have really thick plastic. Your flowers can be as whimsical or realistic looking as you want. You can see this one is just kind of a crazy colorful flowers, and it has 3 basic parts: the big petals, the smaller ones, and the center, which is the cap. The other thing I'd like you to notice about this flower is its glossy petals. That's because I painted the outside of the bottle first, and when I cut it and folded those petals open, you have the plastic coating, which makes it look real shiny and glossy. It doesn't matter whether you paint it before or after you cut it. In my case, I'm going to cut it first and then paint. To do that, you'll need a utility knife or an X-Acto knife and a pair of scissors and a safe work surface. So getting it started, we want to punch a hole with our utility knife. And you can get it started and then finish it off with your scissors. As you consider what you want your flower to look like, you can be inspired by the things in your garden. Sunflowers, lilies, coneflowers, and more make the perfect bottle flowers. Now we're ready to get started cutting. I really like the cap here, and I'm kind of inspired by a coneflower, which has a really nice center and lots of petals. You can be as creative as you want. You just make up your own flower if you want to. You can see how easy this plastic cuts. Now I'm going to shape those petals a little. If you don't want them squared off, you can round them off if you want to. Now you can see, get kind of a little idea of how that flower might look and how cute it is. To make those petals stay in place, you just give it a pinch and it stays. Now I am ready to paint those petals. We are using acrylic paint. Acrylic paint sticks beautifully to plastic, and it doesn't matter if it's liquid craft paint or if it's in tubes. You will want to consider, if you're painting the top of the petals, you get a little more matte finish to it. If you paint the opposite side, you might remember that then you'll have that glossy look. It really doesn't matter. Acrylic paint is awesome because it's also waterproof, and your flower actually can be planted outside. I'm touching up my flowers a little, adding a few more colors, make them a little more interesting, adding contrast. Yours can be as simple or elaborate as you like. And while your flower's drying, you can be putting more pieces together, cutting plastic, and painting. Now we're ready to attach the stem to your flower. So you can be as innovative as you like. If you have a wooden dowel, that's great. You can fish out a stick from the woods and use that. In my case, I have a little chopstick, and I'm lucky enough to have a fake flower stem. So we have to be a bit of an engineer to think about how we're going to attach these things. If I use a stick, I can hot glue this in place. Okay. This flower stem, I might be able to attach it with hot glue or a wire up in here. And I think that's the way I'm going to go. Your hot glue gun will also be handy in attaching other parts, like the cap on this flower. But if you have a flower that's multi-layered, a different way to go is to drill holes and attach it with a zip tie. Using a zip tie really makes a more secure and long-lasting connection if you plan on putting your flower outdoors. These are the parts of my flower. I've drilled holes in the two parts that are going to be layered. That'll go attach in like this. I hope you enjoyed this upcycling activity. I would love to see what you create. Please email it to me. I'm Robin Clay, and I would love to share it with others at SourcePoint. Happy creating.